Hi, welcome. My name is Michele and I'm an independent demonstrator with Stamping Up here in New South Wales, Australia. Thank you very much for joining me today. Please jump on, say hello, let us know where you're from. It's always great to say hello to new people. So Stamping Up in the last couple of days have posted this image asking which one of these layouts we like the best. Do we like this one or do we like that one? I know usually I do templates on Tuesday, but I thought today what we would do is I would recreate these cards in using the same cardstock, the same designer series paper and elements for each card, and just see in the end which ones we really do like. So please jump on and let me know that you're here, and maybe add a comment or two on what you think is your favourite layout of these cards. So I'm going to get started. Now what I thought I would do is I'm going to use the Thoughtful Journeys paper. I really do love this paper. I've used it now quite a few times in both scrapbook layouts and in cards. So I thought that I would use this because I had this on hand, and I've cut a few elements. I'm going to use the Thoughtful Designs specialty DSP as well with it. And just keeping these cards fairly simple and quick to do. But let's have a look and let's create these cards. So I'm just going to pop that map to one side. Now I've started off with some different products here. So I've got two card bases here in my basic white, and I've cut them at 10.5 by 29.9, and I've scored them both at 14.9. I've also cut two pieces of this specialty paper, both in the same colorway, and we're going to use one for each. I've got also this, which is pretty what color is this one? Sorry. It's not pretty in pink. I can't think now. Petal pink. Gee, my brain is gone today. So got this in petal pink because I sort of was thinking of doing a piece of this, but I'm thinking now of leaving this out. But I'm just going to leave it to one side just in case we do want to come back with it. This is the designer series paper that I've chosen to use. So I've got two sheets here, one for each card, and I've pulled out some of the deckled edge dies in both the circles and a rectangle. Now with this square piece, or it's a slight rectangle, I will have to cut that with my paper trimmer because I don't have a die that's going to cut that for us. But anyway, let's get started, and I'm going to start with this one here. Okay, so I've already done a little bit of thinking, so let me just grab my card base and we'll fold that in half. And as I said, please just let me know what you think, which one of these two that you like. Now you will find these card designs in your catalogue on page 22. There's a group of card ideas at the bottom of page 22 that you can use, and you'll also find them dotted throughout the catalogue as well. So let's start with this piece here. So I'm going to grab this piece, and this piece here is about 7.5 centimeters wide, and I'm going to make it that centerpiece down through there. So let's just adhere that down now. So I've got my glue here. Don't know what it's like where you are today, but it's quite a miserable day here. We've had constant rain now for almost 3 days, so everything is getting quite flooded out there, and I'm assuming the birds are loving it. All the worms are coming up to the top and having a good feed. Seen a few of them out my window here, but otherwise it's very miserable. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that back onto there. Now I'm going to grab a large circle die here, and I thought that this large circle here, I'm going to use this image here as that central piece. So I thought I might just cut that out there. So I'm just going to grab my paper snips and just trim this down a bit. And I'm just going to do this quite roughly because I just want to make this piece into a small enough piece that I can now run through my mini cut and emboss. Now at the moment we have got a special happening on Stamping Up. You can get an extra 10% off any of the bundles. So that is the stamp and die bundles, and you can also get the, I think it's 10% off also on the mini or the large cut and emboss machine as well. So now is a good time to purchase a few stamp and die bundles and the machine if you don't have one, or grab yourself a mini one like this one here if you don't have one of those. Of course, you can find all that on my online store, which is at michelletrissa.stampinup.net. So I've just cut that piece out there, and that's going to become this centerpiece here. So now we have another 3 circles to cut out. Now this one here I thought I'd do in white because I'm going to pop my sentiment in that one. So I'll leave that one for the moment, and I'm going to make that my smaller die, and I'm going to cut these 2 here. So I thought what I could do, this is the size I've decided. So I've got this one here, and then I've got these 2 dies. This one's I'm going to use my sentiment, and this one here I'm going to cut some extra pieces out to go behind. And I thought what I could use would be, I'll bring this piece back in, some of the pieces on here. So we can bring in a little bit more of these different colours. Now we've also got the back, and some of these colours do carry through and will correspond at the back as well. So we could easily pick a couple of these pieces. So let's just have a look. Hello, Jean. Thank you very much for joining. Glad you're able to jump on today. So what we're doing is Stamping Up posted this on Facebook yesterday asking us which one we like the best. So I'm making up both so we can decide which one we like to made up. And I'm using the Thoughtful Journey Designer Series paper, or the whole suite, to do this from. So I think actually I quite like picking up a little bit of that blue maybe, but also a little bit of the Calypso Coral, but also a bit of the Petunia Pop there. So I think we might cut that piece there and do that one. So let me just snip that. So we'll bring this in, and we've got to cut another one as yet as well. Now there's one of my plates. There we go. I popped it on the other side. Sort of want to have a little bit more of that blue coming through because I thought the sentiment I might stamp in the balmy blue. So, Jean, how is it down your way today? So this piece here we could pop up in here. Just turn it around until we find what we want. And then we could, even if we wanted to, add another one of these. So we could either go into that one. Let me have a look. Got this scrap piece here, which is more into your blues. Greens aren't quite right. Don't like that one. No. The other colour would be the going into that real petunia pop, but then we've got that there. But then we could bring this one down here. A bigger piece here. So let's just have a little bit of a play and cut another circle out of that. We can cut a few circles out and see what we like. Might be just too much. I'm sort of thinking it's a little bit too the same. I think I might leave that piece and go back to using this. Even that back piece there be quite nice. Okay, let's just give that a go. Hello, Nicole. How are you? Thank you for joining. So this is all just very much a play and see what we can come up with. And while we're doing that, I'll grab a piece of white cardstock. Got a piece here. And we can cut out the white for our sentiment. Now that was going to be the smaller circle. Let me see what that is. That's it there. Playing is good because you don't know whether things are going to work out, whether unless you play. I mean, sometimes you sort of look at something, you go, it's not going to work, and then you do it and put it all together and it does. Or you do it and you put it all together and it completely doesn't. But you know what? It's all a learning curve. And that's what today is all about, is just having a bit of a play, seeing what works and what doesn't. So I've got my balmy blue here. And I'm just using a very simple sentiment from the suite that just says thanks. And I'm just going to stamp that right in the center there. Just keeping these very, very simple cards, just so then we can see and compare them. Okay, so let's just bring in that diagram again. So we're going to here, and I might sit it up on nice and sunny. So where are you, Jean? Where do you hail from? We have got a swamp here where I am in the Southern Highlands in New South Wales. It's areas are flooding, so sort of staying home and staying warm. Okay, so I'm going to pop that just about there. Then we're going to pop our sentiment there. So I just want to pop one dimensional. Now I did do a little bit of die cutting. Let's just bring in one of these, because one of these could go underneath there quite nicely as well. Okay, so let's just pop these in and let's have a look before we glue any more down. So this one here, we can glue into there. Now I don't want to have that line going straight on, and unfortunately I've probably put a dimensional right where I want that to go. So let's just lift that a little bit. So I need to pop a little bit of glue underneath that just to hold that down. And we'll pop a little bit of glue underneath that one. So that will follow with the original. Yeah, a little bit of rain. I think some areas it was over 200 mils as of this morning, not of now. It's been raining continuously all day. So, yeah, a bit wet around here. Okay, so that would be where that would go, sitting on there. Now, should we put that on there just to add a little bit? Is that going to be too much? I'm just sort of thinking it is a lot. And less is sometimes more. You're in Queensland, Jean. Oh, nice. Got cousins up in Queensland. They came from Victoria originally, so they're always laughing at us back down this way because they're now up in the nice warmth. Got one up near Cairns somewhere and two a bit further down the coast. Okay, what do you think? Do we add something like that or not? Perth finally got some rain. Early winter rain this week, yeah. It's been fairly early winter here as well. Keep wondering, are we going to get snow this year? But then I say that every year. Okay, what do we think? Yes or no? I think I might add it. I think it just adds a little bit of extra interest. So what I might do is pop dimensional there and there. So that's going to lift that up because I've got the dimensionals under this piece of DSP. Might just move, whoops, it's sort of stuck down a little bit there. Hold on a sec. That onto there like that, and then put some little bit of glue onto there. Okay, so there you go. There's our first card idea. What do you think of that one? Do we like that style of layout so far? Okay, well, let's give the second one a go. And then, so I'm going to use basically the same, well, I am going to use the same papers, same colours, and let's do the next one. Oh, Jean, you didn't like that piece on top. Yeah, I think it is a little bit busy, but it's not too bad actually. And I think the fact that I've got it coming out a little bit here because this circle here comes out quite a bit, but it wasn't quite balanced on this side. But anyway, it's, as we said at the beginning, this is all a play to see what we like and what we don't. So let's grab the other card base. So again, we've got a white card base. Just fold that in half. I've got lots of heaters on in my here at the moment, so, well, not lots of heaters, a heater, keeping me nice and warm. The circles are soothing. Yeah, they are actually. Circles are very soothing. You know, I think it's got the fact that there's no sharp edges and so forth. Okay, so now we've got this piece here. If we have a look at our design, that is going to make that flag there. So I need to cut this down a little bit. So let's bring in our trimmer. And I think I'm going to trim a bit off this top side up here. And I think I might start with taking about 2 centimetres off. I'd rather take a little bit off at a time than take the whole lot off at once. So let's see how we are looking. Again, I'm just keeping an eye on my design here. This probably isn't, if I had to pick myself which one I like before making them, I'd go with this rather than with that. So this probably isn't quite my style, but that doesn't mean anything. So I'm just wondering whether I might even trim this down a little bit more in the width. So I'm going to take off about another centimetre and we'll have a look. Okay, so that's not too bad. So let's just, this is now 6.5. So I'm just going to put a pencil mark at 3.25. And that's where I'm going to cut up to flag this. So I'm going to cut that up roughly about that much. And then I'm going to cut that side. I'm just going to keep those little bits for the moment. Cut that side. So now I'm going just to use this as my pattern. So I'm just going to lay that piece. I might just flip it over so you can see the white side and see exactly what I'm trying to do. So I'm just going to lay that piece there on top of there. Whoops, I've got to cut the opposite way, don't I? So lay that bit there. And cut that side of my flag. And then I'm going to now just, that is given there. And I'm just going to cut this straight across. There like that. So there's my flag. Let's get rid of these bits here. So there's our card front. So that's going to lay like that. Now, let's just pop that to one side. I did have a look at this and I was sort of thinking cutting this 8 centimetres across and 7 centimetres down. But let me just grab my ruler here. Yeah, 7. Maybe by 8.5 I might cut it. So let's cut this at, Well, let's go 7.5 because I can trim it down. And what did I say? I'm going to cut this at about 9. I want this larger one rather than the small one. I cut that at 9, yep. So that's that piece there. So that's going to go roughly about there. That piece is going to go on top like that. I don't like that angle. I really just not. I think because I'm a, I like everything being sort of like central. So I prefer that. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm taking that element, but I'm going to actually straighten it up because I just can't get my head around doing that one. Now, again, I've got the same flourish piece. But I think that is definitely going to be too much. And that's not enough. The other thing we could do, because I definitely don't like that on top of that. Let me just do the sentiment first and then we can take it from there. So I'm going to do a slightly different sentiment here. This one here is from the same bundle, but it just says thinking of you fondly. So I'm going to do the same. Actually, I might do that again and just stamp that more in the middle. Just for the fact that I haven't worked out where I'm going to, and this is going to be a bit of wastage on my cardstock, but that's okay. I just need to cut this down to get it through my trimmer. I like to stamp first and then die cut, and then I can get everything nice and straight. Some people like to do their die cutting and then stamp after that, but the lid on my glue before it dries out. So let's just bring this in again and let's cut this, and then we can start playing with our bits and pieces. So have you got much crafting planned for the weekend? I've got a little project planned for myself, which I might start in after my live here, which hopefully, if it all works out, you will see next week on my Facebook page. It's going to be something a little bit fun, something I haven't done for a long time, and it will be a scrapbook layout since I'm really getting into my scrapbooking at the moment. Okay, so let's bring this in. So I'm going to straighten that piece, as I said, because I just don't like it like that. I'm going to bring that probably slightly to the top. If we keep these two cards in the same sort of format, then you'll be looking at, I would say, something that might not look too bad actually along those lines, like that needs to come up like so. Okay, I think that looks good. I'm going to pop that down. So let's start with this piece here. Pop that in the middle. Can't craft at the moment. You broke your wrist. Oh, that's no good, Nicole. How did you manage to do that? And this piece here, we're going to go on the top, and I'm just going to glue this one straight down. This one, I'm just going to add glue on the back of this. Just being fairly generous there. We're just going to add that just about there. And then our sentiment, I'm going to add three dimensionals across that. Umpiring a men's game. Oh, hockey can be dangerous. Hello, Joan. My sister played hockey for a little while, and my parents were just like, oh, my mum wasn't real happy at all. You would think as an umpire you wouldn't get that damaged. Oh dear, I shouldn't laugh, I'm sorry. Okay, let's just get rid of this rubbish. Don't want to throw away that die, so just be careful with that. And let's just bring in these cards. So there's our two cards. There's our design that Stampin' Up have given us. So the same design, all I've done is I've changed this one a little bit because I just really didn't like the angle, but that's me. I'm just not, I like things to be nice and straight. Like things to be nice and symmetrical. So Stampin' Up were asking us yesterday, which one did we like? This one or that one? Which one do we like? This one or that one? Let me know in the comments. So that's just something playing with a little bit of fun. Oh, yeah, I bet. So, okay. Well, Nicole, you just have to look after yourself and look after that wrist. That's, you know, you really don't. As we get older, things get more fragile. But anyway, Nicole likes this one. Joan, which one did you like? This one or that? Jean, have you got one that you like? So, Joan, you like that one. Okay, so far we've got one on each. That's interesting. But isn't it interesting, though, playing with all the same products, two different card designs, same elements and everything, and look, they look completely different. I mean, the thing is we could also add, I'm sure I got them. Trying to think what was the embellishments that came with this particular. Was it those ones? 163319. Yep, they're the embellishments that go with it. So let's just add maybe a couple of these on here just to give it a bit more something. Keep wondering whether that one there should, oops, no, it's got to stay there now. Okay, that one's on there. This one here, we can add one down there. So there you go. All the same products, two very different cards. Jean, I'm not quite sure what you've... Jean, you think you need to clarify with me what you're trying to say there. But anyway, I was just going to also show you, here's the page here, page 22, down the very bottom here. Let me just bring that up a bit, and you can see there's one of those designs and the other one was this one here. But quite a few different designs there. I think there's around about 21 or so there. That you could very easily give them a try, and you will find some of these designs dotted throughout the catalogue as well. I think they're mainly in the bundle sections. Let me just have a look. They do have an icon. So here you've got a little icon at the top here saying that they've used one of those layouts from page 22, and they've actually, it's the picture of the layout, which is this floral one right here. So, you know, use your catalogue to give you ideas of different cards that you could create. So have a try. Recreate this one yourself if you wish, out of some different papers. But anyway, that's something a little bit fun, a little bit different to do today. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Thank you very much for joining me today, and we'll catch you next week on Tuesday. Thank you, Joan. Take care. Have a lovely weekend, and if you're somewhere where it's wet, please stay safe. Bye for now.